Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video, and today I created this dissolve into cubes effect. You can see this monkey head is dissolving into cubes. See, and it looks really cool effect. And the reference I followed is here on Twitter. This guy late as usual, and this guy usually work on in Blender, and I really follow him. I have created lots of tutorial based on his effect. I will put this link in my description also. So this looks really cool, and I just tried to copy the same idea in here in UE4 Niagara. So let's start this tutorial, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe, and if you like this tutorial, please like, share and comment, and let's start this video. First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So you can see how it's dissolving into these cubes. So although this effect is already created, but I will create it again from scratch so you can understand it better. First, let me show you. I have two emitters here. First emitter is just these cubes which is dissolving, and then second is just the head that is dissolving, and the edge is with these grid lines to match the cubes. So it has just two emitters. So I will create a new folder here, test, and I will create a FX Niagara fountain test. Okay, I need cubes here, so I will use the mesh renderer, and I need a mesh, so I will take the same mesh which I used here in this one. So I'll use this cube here in my test. This cube has proper UVs, that's why, because I have lots of cubes, so I wanted to use this cube only. So this is just a cube with proper UVs. Okay, so now I'll delete these modules which I don't require, and I'll use burst and maybe 1000 for now. And if you take like instead of excuse me, and let me just make it infinite life and once, and instead of burst, if you take the grid location, you will have a grid like this, and you can increase the gapping between these like this, 1110, 1110 and 1110. But if you will now use a monkey head for the static mesh position, this grid will not be like a grid. Okay, let me show you. First, let's just apply a simple material on it. So like this, it has this bright glowy edges. So I will create a material mcube test, and here to create the edge here, what you can do, you can take a texture coordinate, you can subtract 1. It looks like this, but when you subtract, so this center will be here, and then you need to take the absolute center will be here actually, and you need to make this 0.5, so center will be in 0 will be in center. Like this texture coordinate start from here, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. When you're subtracting 0.5, this point will be here, so 0 to 0.5, 0 to minus 0.5, 0 to 0.5, 0 to minus 0.5, and you can see. And when you're using absolute, so negative value is also positive. So now I will take the mask 2 times, green and red, red. So this is my red, this is my green, and then you can take the minimum. So now you have this, and then you can take the step node to erode it like 0.5, 0.45. Absolute. It's not looks like it's. Let's take the max. Yeah, so we have now the edges, and we can invert this. So we have white edges. So I will make a dynamic parameter here, and this will be for this step. So thickness of the edges. So this is thickness, and I'll take the particle color, connect this here, not directly, multiply it and then connect it here, and I will make this unlit, two-sided. Save, browse this and use this material here and take a dynamic parameter. So you can now increase this, so it will be just edges, and you can make it like any of color. So like we have red, so we have this grid like we have here, but if you take the static mesh location and static mesh location, and you use that monkey head, this monkey head, this, let me remove this material. So I have this monkey head. So if I use this monkey head here, particle emitting on this head, but they are no longer placed as a grid. These are random on surface. So to fix that, I will delete this grid location. I will use the spawn bus like 2000 or 1000, still spawning randomly. So to fix that, you need to make a scratchpad module, and in that you need to take a integer value and take a position. Just divide this position with integer value and then round this, and then multiply this thing again with your integer value. This integer will be gap between your grid particles, and now you take the position and connect it here. Fix this. So now if I increase this value like 20, it is like grid, and if I, let me just stop this, if I decrease this particle size like 0.1 or 0.5, 0.2, so you can see now these are like a grid on mesh surface. So this is how you make this type of grid. I have already tutorials on it, so if you go to my YouTube channel, if search grid, not grid, voxel actually, you will find this tutorial. I have done the same thing on static mesh. So this character mannequin is converted to these cubes, and some are falling also on ground. So you can watch this tutorial also. This is from scratch. You will learn something here also. So we have this, and now I'll just rename this as cubes and duplicate this, and this will be our head, monkey head. In this one, I will just isolate this and use the head mesh, not here, yeah, actually here, and remove the material also, and this is also placed like this, so I don't need that. I just need one particle, and that will be there forever. So you can see now the size is different because you need to make this one, and still the size is different, so you can fix that. So you need to make a material for monkey head. Let me save all, and I'll make a material M monkey test. Okay, so I'll just use a basic gray color here, and then I'll take the vertex normal. So my face of the monkey head should every face should move on the vertex normal. So I will multiply this with a dynamic parameter, and this is WPO, and this will go here. Save this, browse this material, and use this here for your monkey head. So if I take dynamic parameter and increase this value, you can see we can match up something. So it is like almost same size. So we have now both things. We just need to dissolve these two things. So if you open this monkey test material, and if I just preview that monkey head here in material, we have this monkey head. We want to erode it from any direction. So what we will do, we will take a world position because we are not working on UVs, and then I will just take a mask red channel, and you can see it is from left to right, and then to fade it I can divide it with a value, and to offset it, and I can add some value on it. So if I just disable this here, disconnect and connect it here to just check, and this dynamic parameter we have, so this will be our fade value, fade, and this will be our offset value. So I'll just move it here, offset, save this. And now here in our particle system, let's isolate your monkey head. Actually I am having some issue after changing my graphic card. Sometime my right click and some option not working, I don't know why, maybe graphic drivers. So we have this, and in dynamic parameter we have this fade. I'll just make it 100, and this offset value is offsetting. So fade value is 100 is okay, we will use that same in our cubes, and then we have this offset. Okay, so what we have to do is, this is the thing that is a gradient. So we will copy this thing, this entire thing, copy, and in the cube material I will paste it here. Okay, so if I just connect it here, and then again here we need to make fade and offset. This is our fade, this is our offset, and save. So now here if we check both, and in dynamic parameter 100 and 0.5, the color is same. So right side white for both monkey head and the cubes, left side is black for both, but we want invert, because here you can see when this visible, this is not visible. When the head is visible, the cube's not visible on that place. So you need to invert. So here I will invert this in my cube material, and also the value will be inverted, offset value. So I will take 1 minus here also and connect it here. Okay, so now in particles with the same value 0.5 and 0.5, you can see cubes are white, head is black, head is white, cube is black. Just need to put that black and white into opacity now. So first in monkey head I will just use this in here, and this will go to my mask for now. And I'm not using translucent, it has some issues. So in mask I will use dither to fade it, and with the value of 0, and just connect it to the mask. And you need to make this mask material. I'll just save this, and now in cubes this will go to emissive, and this will be a mask material, and again I will take the dither. See, now right click is not working with me, so I have some issues after changing my graphic card. Maybe I don't know what the issue. I will update my drivers. So I'll just save this whole scene and this thing also. Sometime doesn't, see, right click, I'm doing right click and it's not doing anything. So I'm just closing this project and opening again. Let's just open that map again and press G, and now the test folder and the test for FX. So what we are doing, we were doing in materials. So in cubes we need here dither, and the value I will use is 0, and then connect it to opacity mask. Save this, and now in the FX you will see we have already done our basic thing. So now you can see this is visible, this is showing up, and same thing. And to make that animated, I will use sine wave. So let's use a sine wave here in offset. So I will connect a sine here, and this is very speed, so I will use maybe 2 here and 5 here. Okay, so just copy this thing and paste this here. So now you can see we have a basic thing. And one more thing, these cubes are randomly brighter. See, some are brighter, these are also animated, some. So what you can do here in cubes, if I isolate and if I stop it here somewhere, so this is tan, and if I use the hue, you can use slightly hue here, -0.1, so it has slightly different color. Then in the range, if you increase this thing, it will randomly brighten some, but you don't have control how many should bright. So I will make this float, and then I will use random A or B. It has this percentage, and then you can just make it 1 and 20, and then percentage. How many? 10%. I want brighter, maybe 100. Okay, this thing you can do. Then the animation, these are like scaling up and down randomly. See, animation. So for that you can take the scale mesh, make that float, then you can use the sine, and you can connect it with the normalized edge. And if I play, these all are scaling down all together, so you can just randomize your period 2 and 5 maybe. And also I will increase bias 1 and make it 0.1, 0.2 and 0.8, sorry. So we have done that also. Now one thing in this effect, the edge of the monkey head has these grid lines. So how you can do that? You want grid lines here, so you will open this material, the monkey head, and if I take the world position, copy and paste here, and if I take the Shift C for this mask, and if you take the frac, this will show you the fractional value, and then you can subtract 0.5, then you can use the absolute if you want. This is not required. Well, you can just use the step directly, it will work. Okay, same thing, but absolute will make the lines in the center. So if I preview this, and this value now will that means the thickness, and for the gap you can multiply this world position for tiling. So if I put a value here like 0.1, this is our tiling, 0.01, 0.05, and then this is thickness 0.05, 0.06. okay, so now what I'll do, I'll copy this whole thing, Control W again, and connect this again, and this time instead of R I will take the B. okay, and then I can add this together, so we have this grid, and we can multiply this grid with particle color, and then this will go to emissive, but not directly because we want just, let me just on the edge, and let me make the here the fade value 100 and this 0.5. so we need that on this edge. So to get that edge you will take 3 color blend, connect this here, and now see we need the green color, so red and blue will be 0 and this green will be 1, that means white, and then you can multiply this with this, so your grid will only be visible here, and then you can connect it to emissive. okay, save this, and now here you need to make the color red, it is already red, let it compile. So now you have this grid. okay, and then this wipe is very straight, so to make this randomize you can do something, but before that I will take the monkey head, I will take that value, this edge, and multiply this with the vertex normal we have already, and then add this to the existing WPO on this and connect this here. But before adding it I will use a multiplier to decide how much distortion I want, not distortion, the offset. So I will make this, rename this as edge EDG, edge WPO. So this is just for the edge WPO, this edge how much this should be offsetted. So here if I make this edge like let it be 0 for now, let it compile, and let me save this. So now if I make it 20, you can see, or 10 or 5, so you, this is not working, but so what I did, I took this vertex normal, yeah, actually it is right. Let me just add a power node here, so I can just make this slightly thinner and then connect it here. Not that much, let's make it just 10. So you got the idea. Now this wipe is very straight and I want it to distort. Let it compile. Yeah, it's happening. So I want it to distort this edge in both cubes and monkey both. So what I'll do, I'll take a texture, I'll take a blur noise texture, I have already this, and then I will take the world position offset, copy with multiplier, and these 3 things I'll copy and paste here, and I'll use the green, red and blue channel, so this will be visible on a world space. You need to make the tiling little lower, 0.05, 0.02, maybe this much, and then this is the where you getting that edge, so you need to add this noise texture here, but before adding I will multiply to control how much distortion I want. So we have now two parameters. This is for noise styling, this is for distortion control. So I will take a dynamic parameter here, make it 1, reset these, and this first is my noise style and this is distortion, and so I will noise style and distortion, and I'll just save this. And here in my head I will turn on my dynamic parameter. Let's make it 0.02 and let's make it 100 or 0.01. So you can see that distortion 0.005, 200. So now you can see distortion, and I'll just copy this whole thing, copy, and in my cube material here I will paste that, and the same thing I will do here, and same value I will use 0.005 at 200 in the cubes also. So I will turn this on 0.005 and 200. So I think I have all done all the things. There are slightly things different because if I am making the same thing twice, maybe settings are not same, but yeah, I have created the whole thing from scratch. So I will just stop this now and I'll show you my original effect. Select this, open. So for this cubes, let me show you the settings. 5000 particles, then size is initial size 0.2, and then here color is red, and then in range I'm using this 10% is brighter, and then rest of is not brighter. Then static mesh location using that head, then scratch module, same thing I did, divided, round, then multiplying and going to position, and then the value is 220 here. Then we have this dynamic parameter, and particle are also scaling up and down with sine wave. Let me show you the material for cubes. This is exactly same material. So I have this step here, I have this texture coordinate, then subtracting value, absolute, stepping, taking RG differently, taking minimum, inverting. We have this, and this is going to emissive. Now here world position, and this is the noise that I'm using to distort that, then adding value on it, taking red channel, inverting it, dividing to fade it. Let me decide the value here, offset 0.5, dither 0. So same material, exact same material, nothing is different here. Just some numbers can be different in Niagara, but thing is same. Similarly in monkey head, if you'll see this one, starting one particle, that is my monkey, and the material is the same. So you can see I have texture coordinate, the world position offset, taking this RG differently, the fractional value to make the lines, and altogether we have this grid. This is multiplying with particular and then going to emissive. Here we have this, let me just make the value of this 0.002, 200 or 1. So we have this red, then fading it, adding for offset, saturating, and then we are getting this edge which is going to world position offset. So same thing, exactly same thing. Okay, so that's it. I'll put that effect on my Patreon also, so you can just download and check it out, and that's it. And you can just change the mesh and it will work the same, but just your mesh should be the same size, otherwise this will work the same. Okay, so I hope you like this effect and you learned something new here, and thanks for watching. Keep learning and bye bye.